What is going on, guys? Welcome to WrestleGamia. Now, with the release of WWE 2K20, more information about what we can expect from this year's iteration of the popular series is coming out by the day, or by now it'll already be out. Now, it'll come as no surprise that this year will bring a variety of changes to the series, which should make fans happy. However, there will also be some notable removals from the game, perhaps to the dismay of the WWE universe. Be sure to subscribe and click that notification bell, because today we're going to look at 5 things that have been changed and 5 things that have been removed from WWE 2K20. The first change is online mode. Lots of changes have been made into the game's online mode this year, so it'll be easier to just list them as part of one entry. First of all, there's the announcement that this year will mark the return of online lobbies, which have been much requested since the SmackDown vs. Raw days. The lobbies will make it easier for players to match-make with friends and strangers while playing online, and can even be customized to specific match types, arenas, and even restrict which wrestlers can be used. My Career mode will also include a playable female option this time around, marking a first for the series. And fans in multiplayer can also expect to see various match challenges included through the Road to Glory, and tonight's match options that will be refreshed on a daily basis. With online play being responsible for much of the longevity and replayability of the game, it's good to see that extra focus has been given on its improvement this year. The first removal is Ukes. This edition marks the first game in the series since the now former developer and the WWE have parted ways. This was first reported back in August and means that Visual Concepts will now take over full development of the game for the first time, though it appears that much of its framework has been carried over from last year. So while Ukes will no longer be directly involved, their fingerprints should still be able to be found throughout the game. WWE responded to the breakup by saying, "We thank Ukes for their years of partnership and are excited to see what the Visual Concepts team brings to the franchise moving forward." It seems that there's no time for any sadness on either party's side, as the franchise will continue to move on while Ukes works on their own as of yet untitled rival wrestling game. The second change is the control system. It's out with the old and in with the new attitude towards the control scheme in WWE 2K20, as Visual Concepts has decided to tweak it to allow new players to jump in the game and pick it up much more easily, while also providing the fine balancing act of keeping experienced fans happy and giving them well thought out controls. The biggest change seems to have come with the reversal system, which are now activated by using their triangle button on the PlayStation and the Y button on the Xbox. Finishers, climbing, weapon use, submissions and pinfalls have all seen similar changes and should allow the game to feel more intuitive overall. There's also the inclusion of Assist mode, which, if switched on, will allow the game's AI system to choose appropriate attacks when grappling for those players still learning the ropes of the game. The second removal, Creator Championship. This one applies to the release version of the game, as it appears the popular Creator Championship function will not be in WWE 2K20 when it hits the stores. This has understandably left some fans unhappy and taken to social media to voice their displeasure that something that was available in last year's edition is now not ready in time for the release of this year's. It should be noted that this has been announced that the mode will be patched back into the game in a later update, as confirmed by the developers. However, no date has been set for this yet, so gamers will have to hold tight for the time being. The third change, Universe mode. Similar to the online suite, this year's Universe mode will see a number of changes, and due to the amount of them, it's much easier to list them all in one entry. Match limits on major and minor shows have been increased from 7 to 9, and for pay-per-views, this number has jumped from 7 to 14. In addition to this, the amount of title matches you can include per show has gone from 6 to 7, with active rivalries per show going from 3 to 4. Rivalry options have also been tweaked to allow slow breakups over several weeks, rather than sudden turns we've become used to seeing. Cutscenes also have some big changes, with 20 new ones being included, with a total of 2,040 new lines of dialogue being recorded overall. Other changes that will make fans happy are the ability to include custom matches and further tweaks that will see it become more common for match types to be included, such as Royal Rumble matches at that event. There's still no sign of Geo mode or Draft mode, but there's always hope for next year. The third removal, Arenas. While most of the arenas from past WWE events that fans have come to enjoy have been included in the game this year, As well as some old WCW and ECW ones, there has been some removals. The most notable of these is the Japan Dome, the 2K series stand-in for the legendary Tokyo Dome, which was included in last year's edition. With New Japan Pro Wrestling's popularity, fans enjoyed being able to place their favourite WWE superstars in the spiritual home of their Japanese counterparts. There's no sign of the arena being included this time around, and we can only assume that this is down to the WWE's continual willingness to distance themselves from any other potential competitors. The fourth change, weapons. Weapons have seen an upgrade in this year's game with the weapon wheel that had only been available during Extreme Rules matches, but now it's been added to all match types. YouTube channel This Gen Gaming has done a fantastic video with more of a deep dive into this topic, but in short, it appears that as well as the weapon wheel, more weapon variations have been added to the game, while other small changes such as tables not disappearing as quickly after being broken have been added to make for a far more immersive experience. The fourth removal is wrestlers. Now, we've already looked at this topic in depth in a previous video, but a number of wrestlers have been removed from WWE 2K20. A lot of these have been due to wrestlers leaving the company or having contractual disagreements that prevent them from appearing in the game. The one area that seems to be hit the hardest is the Legends section of the roster, which is usually filled with classic performers from yesteryear, but has been dramatically cut down this time around. No confirmation has been given on why this is yet, but it's likely due to contractual issues too. The fifth and last change is a Hell in a Cell. While most match types will carry across from WWE 2K19 without much change, Hell in a Cell has received a makeover, most notably with the addition of the new red cell which has been featured on WWE television in the last couple of years. This replaces the old version that was already outdated by the release of last year's game. Another change to Hell in a Cell will be the addition of weapons that strangely had not been available in last year's edition, though steel steps will not be able to be used. And the 10th removal, M&M. No, this isn't the removal of a playable character option you missed, similar to Fred Durst's inclusion in 2001 SmackDown Just Bring It game. This is the removal of something that was planned early in the development process of the game, but failed to materialize. Early reports suggested that Visual Concepts and WWE were working on getting Slim Shady himself to curate this year's in-game soundtrack. However, talks fell through after the rapper was unhappy that the news had leaked online. This is something of a disappointment, as could you imagine that someone of Eminem's caliber could have curated a fantastic soundtrack? But as long as the game plays well and looks good, fans shouldn't be too upset. But there you have it guys, 5 things that have been changed and 5 things that have been removed from WWE 2K20. Be sure to leave your comments down below, subscribe if you haven't already, follow us on Instagram, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling video game content.